Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you can tell, I'm actually not in my home right now. I am closer to the New South Wales and Victoria border right now for my large animal handling week. I'm going to be vlogging this whole week, so if you're interested in this content, please subscribe down below and please come along. Okay, so we finished day one and it has been the most hectic day just in general. Not that it's been really hard, it's just a lot of hands-on work. So basically the whole point of this week is to get us used to larger animals, so your sheep, your cows, your horses, all of that. I had to get to the bus at about 7:45 in the morning, which is very hard for me.
Oh my God.
And actually the hardest part in general was trying to fit stuff for 5 days into a tiny duffel bag. And then I turned up and people had brought their massive suitcases and I sat there thinking I should have just brought a suitcase, everyone else did it. And now I don't feel like I have enough stuff. Basically we got here about 10:30, went straight in for an induction, talked about emergency exits and stuff and got our rooms and came in, which I can quickly show you the room. It's basically got, all my stuff is all over this table, but this little table and then, you know, some cupboards, a window. This cupboard, which I'm not using at all, but when you open it, there is stuff written in here from years ago. It's so trippy to see. Like there's even stuff in here that goes back to like 1964. That's older than my parents even.
I'm not gonna do it. Somebody get me out of here.
Honey, this is the best thing.
Get me the out of this room.
And then we've just got the weirdest looking bed ever because they do not provide bed linen. So they told us to bring a sleeping bag. So I convinced a friend of mine here to bring me a sleeping bag because why would I have brought that from Melbourne? So basically after we got the rooms, we had about 5 seconds to put everything down and then we had to immediately go to lunch, which food is being provided for us, so I shouldn't complain. But the lunch was just a little bit miserable. They were these quiche things. If I can find a photo, I'll put a photo here. But I just felt loaded with carbs, but you know, first world problem. Then after that, I had to go straight to sheep. Now, I guess I'm lucky because I have done all of this with placements before, so I was able to tip the sheep. But the thing was, Melbourne is clearly a lot nicer than Sydney because they gave us sheep that are less than 12 months old and so much smaller than what I had to practice on at first. So when I'm tipping them, I'm going, this is so much easier than what I'm used to.
Do you ever shut the fuck up?
And then yeah, after that I had to go to equine, so just horses. And I've done the horse harnessing in uni before, so that one was a bit more familiar to us. But one of the horses really tried to give me a run for my money because it kept just moving its head like this.
Oh God, he looks old.
Oh, sorry.
Can't hands.
Sorry.
Whenever the harness needed to go on. So clearly he was used to it at that point. He is a teaching horse and just was a bit over it. But that is probably also a bit more realistic to real life, so it was probably good practice for me. And then after that, my day was done, came back, had some dinner. Dinner was a bit better. It was a lamb roast kind of thing with a bit of dessert. And then after that, we hosted a trivia night. My group won. I'm extremely competitive, so I was extremely happy that my group won trivia night. Mind you, there was a whole round on sports. I contributed nothing. I sat there like this.
The team, go sports.
All right.
And we won that round. I was just lucky I chose a table with friends that like sports. I don't know anything about sports. And then yeah, after that, came back, Felt really guilty that I had basically no time to study, and then the second my head hit the pillow, straight to bed. But it's all been good. So now on to day 2. Alright, so day 2's done and dusted. Basically, better day today. I don't know if it was because I was spending the whole day here, but I felt really, well, not really, but a lot more productive. Basically, this morning I had private study time until 10 a.m. So I actually did some studying and revision, which was nice. So I actually did some studying and revision compared to yesterday where I felt like I did not do anything. After that, I went straight to cattle. I did pretty much all of my placements with cows, so I feel really comfortable around them in general. However, there are differences that I've noticed. So these are teaching cows, so they run away a lot easier and their flight zones are just a lot easier in general. The teaching cows are a lot easier to move because obviously they're used to having students around. So I'm used to more stubborn cows that want to, you know, not do anything. They don't want to go into the dairy. They don't want to do anything. So I'm used to walking quite close to them and having to be really forceful. So then I kept getting told, you don't need to be that close. You don't need to be that close, which I guess I get in an assessment, but in the real world, not every cow is going to be a teaching cow. But that was fine, it was fun. I've never harnessed a cow before. I don't know how common that is, but it's not something I ever had to do. And then we got to take a cow's temperature, which was actually really fun. I've never gotten the opportunity to do that. And I thought it was going to be different to a dog. It was pretty much the same as doing a dog's. It was the same thermometer. But yeah, other than that, I did sheep again. I, bragged about how easy and small the sheep were yesterday. They gave us sheep that were double the size today. They found some for us to practice on, but surprisingly I was actually able to tip them. I don't know if I've just learned better methods now because I used to find it a lot harder. So that was really good. It was an ego boost. I don't know if I'm fluking it. I don't care. I'm gonna take the win, and tipping is not something I have to do in my assessment anyway. And completely unrelated, I feel like I forgot to mention yesterday, I showed how I'm sleeping in this whole sleeping bag situation because we were told to bring linen for our beds. We were told to bring toiletries, you know what they didn't tell us to bring? A towel.
Nikki is in the dining room.
Feeling very venomous and angry.
So I did bring a towel, and some people thought about it and brought a towel. Not me. So I just want everyone to picture that every time I shower, I grab about 20 pieces of paper towel that are meant to be for drying your hands after you wash your hands, and then using that to dry myself. And to be honest, that's the most traumatizing part of this whole trip. But anyway, other than that, it's been a fine day. I didn't have to get up too early. Tomorrow I've got to be up at about 7 a.m, which is early for me. So I'm gonna go to bed now and we'll move on to day 3. Okay, so it's about 10 p.m. Wednesday night and I'm officially done for the day. Today has been my busiest day back to back, but it's been a pretty good day overall. But basically we're just working through the same animals and expanding on what we've already done. So I started the day with horses, so harnessing them again and just walking them around the area. But this time we were picking up their hind limbs, which is a bit more dangerous than their forelimbs. And then we also had to move them in between different paddocks and obviously do that safely. And I'll admit, looking at them, I was a bit nervous to be taking them back and forth because I was worried, you know, they'd freak out in the middle or something and I wouldn't know what to do. It was actually so easy. It was easier than harnessing them. So I guess that's an example of how, you know, you can blow something up in your head and then it's completely fine. Something I was really happy about was that I had 0 sheep today. Like, I already knew well prior to this, I'm not gonna be a sheep vet, definitely not for me. So just not having to do the sheep today, amazing, 10 out of 10. And then we got to hop on a bus and we got a robotic dairy tour, which was actually really bizarre because I've done placement on a dairy farm before. We had to physically put the cups on the teats, and yes, of course the machine does the milking, but you're still involved somehow. The robotic dairy, you're literally doing nothing. They walk in themselves, the machine puts the cups on, they get fed, and then it gets taken away and they walk out. And it's bizarre because you sit there and watch it and go, if you do placement here, what do you even do? But anyway, that was cool. Got to see some calves. I always love seeing some calves. I want to take one home. And then after that, we came back and we did cattle again. So this time we were operating the crush ourselves. I'll insert photos if I can find some, but yeah, we were walking them through ourselves. So yeah, and then I happened to get a really small cow with my group member. So then they made us get in behind them without anything protecting us, which feels so counterintuitive to be standing behind them after a month of them telling us, you know, don't stand behind an animal.
Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Sharp. I'm going to teach you a game called Do As I Say, Not As I Do.
But I get that you kind of have to in that situation, but it was more how to safely do it if you do need to do it. So we did that, and then we had to go out the back, and yesterday was just, you know, move the whole herd from one area to the other, which is a lot easier. And today it was, okay, you see 246 over there, I want that cow. You need to get that singular cow from the group and get them into the paddock, which is harder, but I did eventually get there. But it's been good practice, and obviously it's been really good revision because it has been a few years since I did do those cattle placements, and I do quite enjoy cows, so it has been fun overall. And then during the night, I got dragged out to the pub. I hate the pub.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
I was there for probably an hour and a bit because we were playing pool, and then the skills are rapidly declined and we called it quits. Looked at some stars for a while. It's crazy how many more stars you can see more out in the country, and then now I'm back here and I'm done. I'm cooked. I've got to be up 7 a.m. tomorrow to deal with some sheep again, and I'm not happy about it. But yeah, that was today. So now we're moving on to Thursday, my last full day. Alright, so I've just finished my last day here, and honestly I am ready to go home in the best way possible. I've loved handling large animals, but I think I just want to be back in my own bed and, you know, be able to unpack everything. But basically today I had sheep and cows again, so a bit of a calmer day and kind of repetitive. I was doing the same thing, so tipping sheep, except we got even older sheep this time, which were a bit harder and definitely more stubborn. And to be honest, one fully looks at me and just goes to charge at me and just, you know, jumps over my arm that I had.
Parkour!
So, you know, whatever. And then I had cows later, which was exactly the same, just getting used to haltering them, using the crush, everything. And then other than that, I finished up, came back, and they had set up a barbecue for us, which I was very excited about until I saw the extremely charred pieces of chicken.
Look at the colour of it. Well, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. What is it? It's overcooked.
That they had got for us. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. And they had a couple games set up, and that was about it. After that, I've gone back to my room. I'm just completely tired. I'm so ready to go home tomorrow. I've got a couple hours in the morning, but it's just study time, so I'm probably not going to film it, and I'm probably just going to end it here. But other than that, it's been a good week. I've definitely refreshed everything that I've done in the past, and I feel a lot more comfortable again with the large animals, especially with tipping sheep, because I really struggled with that before. So overall, it's been really good. And if you liked seeing content like this and vlogs like this, please subscribe down below. Please let me know. I would love to know if you want to see more videos like this, because I really enjoy filming them. Like the video, and if you want more frequent updates, I do have an Instagram, which is @becomingdoctalia, so please check me out over there as well if you want to. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me. Bye!